Hello, everybody. Team Thrive Nation. I am so excited to be with you all tonight. I'll give you a couple, just like a minute to hop on. But for any of you who don't know me, my name is Sheila Galeen, formerly Sheila Fasoni. I have had a lot of changes over the last couple of years. Got divorced, got remarried. I'm an empty nester, and I'm super excited to share with you all today about mindset. I'm going to hang on, my notifications off. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about mastering your mindset, because honestly, it is the key to you, truly having success in your business. Because whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. And that's just really what it boils down to, is that we got to get our mind right in order to have success in this business. And sometimes that's not easy to do. And we all have struggles. I was kind of looking through all the comments, and I want everyone to know that it is normal to have fears in this business. When I started this journey, I know I didn't have all the answers. In fact, I didn't even know if this business would work for me. I was I was overweight. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't eating healthy. I wasn't doing any of the things that I felt like was a poster child for health and wellness. In fact, I didn't feel like I was necessarily qualified to share this product, even though I was having amazing results. Like, I wasn't having headaches. I was loving the all day energy, super focused, sleeping like a baby. Like, I had this incredible story, but I didn't feel like I was maybe a reliable representative of what health and wellness was. But what I learned really quickly is that it's about your story. It's about what this product has done for you and how we can help other people have success. But it starts right here. So, I know when I started, I was willing to grow. I was willing to learn. And I remember at the very beginning, Maria reached out to me in my first 2 weeks, and she's like, "Girl, do you have a person do you have anybody we could get on the phone today?" And I had been kind of like sending her to voicemail or whatever. And I was like, wait, I have 2 people for tomorrow. Well, I didn't have anybody. I actually fibbed. And I was busting my butt to get 2 people on the phone with Maria the next day. But let me tell you what that did. Getting that connection made with upline leadership built my confidence in not only the product, but in my story. That, you know what? You don't have to have this like, holy smokes, this did like amazingness that I feel like some people feel like they have to have this amazing story. No, if you have the energy that you didn't have to get off the couch and play with your kids, you have a great story, right? Your mind, wrap your head around that, around the moms that you could help that are sitting on the couch not playing with their kids. That's where our mind has to go. So let's talk a little bit about a growth mindset. So a growth mindset means you believe you can learn, improve, and rise even when things get hard, right? And this is going to happen all the time. Things are going to get hard. It helps you, be consistent when other people quit. It helps you bounce back from those no's and keep showing up. It helps you see challenges as lessons and not roadblocks. It helps you stop comparing and start evolving. Comparison is the thief of joy, you guys. Like, don't compare yourself to others, because you could be comparing, to your everyday life to their highlight reel, and you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And what I can tell you about the leadership in this business is that they have overcome fear. They have faced fear. They have, even when they didn't want to. I can tell you, I have sent text messages, literally closing my eyes and hitting return because I had this anxiety about sending it. But what happens is when you have action, you have growth, and you face that fear head on when you have that growth mindset opposed to that fixed mindset. If you believe your potential isn't fixed, if you believe your efforts matter, if you believe you can figure things out, you are on your way to success with your Le-Vel business. So let's talk a little bit about self-awareness, okay? first of all, you can't grow if you don't know, if you're not aware of what's going on with you, right? And, and how you are building your business, what things that you're doing daily, and being honest with yourself. So you need to occasionally have that heart to heart with yourself in the mirror, especially when you feel like you're not growing. And you have to have that heart to heart and be like, you know what am I not doing? So let's just say, for example, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? If you are not doing those income producing activities, nobody else knows it. We don't have cameras up. We are self-employed. We don't have cameras up in our office saying, oh, are you doing your work? Are you logged in like some employers do if you are working from home? No, you are accountable for your own behavior. So think of it like this. If you're trying to lose weight, and this was an example I've given before, if you're trying to lose weight, right? And you're doing all the things, right? You're eating healthy, you're having salads for lunch, you're eating your eggs, you're having, chicken for dinner with your vegetables and some rice. And then, you go out and have margaritas and lots of them. And then you eat the dessert and you do all the things. And then you get home and you're in your pantry eating ding dongs and ho-hos. Guess what? When it comes to weigh in and you're over your weight, nobody knows you were eating ding dongs and ho-hos. Whoever was with you drinking margaritas, they know, but nobody knows. So we are personally accountable for our own actions. And so what's meant to be is up to me. You got to do the work. At the end of the day, you have to have that heart to heart with yourself in the mirror. Nobody's going to do it for you, right? So, just like the weight loss, it's no different in this business. So it's not about being perfect. It's about being honest with yourself and not being defensive to coaching. I've been on many coaching calls over the years, and I've had people that say, yep, I'm doing that. Yep, I'm doing that. Yep, I'm doing that. Yep, I'm doing that. But are you? Are you doing it with intention? Are you, do you have someone whenever you're feeling a little bit frustrated in your business, I always say, who's the person you're most excited about right now? Could be a customer, could be a promoter. Who is it? If you can't say it, you need to go find yourself a new thriver. And I saw a lot of people saying, how do I do that? I'm going to talk a little bit about having your mind right to go do that. And then I know there's a lot of other videos on here telling you exactly what to do, especially those cab ones. There's lots of them telling you what to do. I'm going to tell you how to get this right so that you go do it, okay? So here's your homework. I want you to ask yourself, what's working in my business right now? Write it down. What's working? Like, what do you see? Are you seeing results from? And we know consistent daily activity equals results. So you may not be, if last month you didn't do consistent daily activity, you may be feeling it right now. You may be feeling like you're in a slump. But I guarantee you, if you pick things up again, you'll start getting on a roll and you'll start seeing the results of doing daily income producing activity. So I want you to ask yourself, where am I holding myself back? Is it the fear factor? We're going to talk a little bit about that down the road. Is it fear of what other people think? Is it self-doubt? Is it just not holding yourself accountable? What is that? So am I working with intention and showing up daily? Okay? Working with intention is very different than feeling like you're working. You can scroll Facebook all day long and feel like you're working, but you're really not. Like you have income producing activity, reaching out to people, commenting on their posts, doing your posts. Are you posting? Like if someone went to your Facebook page right now, would they know that you're a thriver? Would they know what your daily routine looks like? What would they know about you? If it's only, and you can post about your family and your vacations and all the things as well. But how does Thrive incorporate into your daily life? That's what your Facebook page should show, because that's being authentic. That is letting people know how Thrive plays a role in your day-to-day things. So here's the thing. You don't decide your future. You decide your habits, and your habits are going to determine your future, right? So be honest with yourself about what those daily habits really look like. So we're going to talk a little bit about emotional regulation over reacting, okay? So anyone can show up when it feels good, right? But real growth happens when you learn to pause, breathe, and lead when those things get messy, okay? And not just give up on yourself. So it's easy to react with when a potential ghosts you and feel like, they hate me, they hate Thrive, they'll never thrive with me, rather than realizing that a customer may have more important things going on in their life that you have no clue about. They may have read your message and forgot about it, so they may not be ghosting you at all. But we can be quick to make assumptions, right? We don't know what's going on in other people's heads. Our job is simply to plant the seed and offer solutions to people's problems. And so we are problem solvers. That is what we are. Don't see yourself as a salesman. Don't see yourself as a saleswoman. See yourself as a problem solver. You are a solution to someone's problem. That's how you need to view yourself in this business. So if you are spiraling rather than reacting, right? You may spiral when a team member quits, right? Rather than making personal aligned decisions to your goals instead of emotional ones based off someone else's decision. Someone else is making a decision. Someone else may not have been working, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, especially if you see a leader leave, you see someone you see as a big leader, you don't know what happened with their rank. You don't know that they haven't been working their business for 3 years. You don't know that. What you know is only what you see on maybe Facebook, but not really maybe what's happening in their business. So keep that in mind. You don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You focus on you and your activity and your love of this product and what you can do by helping others live the life they deserve. So think about that. When you doubt yourself when things slow down, you ever notice and you have a slow month, you doubt yourself rather than showing up as calm, steady, and savvy leader that your team can trust, right? You need to show up as that calm person. And how do we resolve things that are like when our business is slow? We increase our personal activity. That's how we see growth. If you aren't seeing growth with whatever you're doing right now, increase it. Because that is the key to growing your business and having growth and continued growth and consistency. It's that heart to heart in the mirror that we were just talking about. So I challenge you, when a stressful or worrisome situation arises, ask yourself, is this fixable? Okay? Is this situation as extreme as I'm making out to be? So is this my perception or is this reality? Okay? So if you're spiraling, it's probably you. It's probably not reality. If reality is not as extreme as when we spiral, right? So oftentimes these stressful situations get resolved rather quickly once we become a fixer instead of a reactor. So think about that. So we want to be fixers in our business. We want to be fixers with our, our customers, our promoters, anyone that we're leading. We don't want to be seen as the one that is causing the stress. We don't want to be reacting to everything and causing stress for every single person around us. Okay. So, your mindset shapes how you see others, and that shapes your business. So if you think everyone's flaky, unmotivated, too broke, not going to want to build a business, guess what you're going to attract? You attract what you think about, and you're going to bring about what you think about. So if you believe others have the potential to change their lives with these products and the business, then guess who you will attract simply by your belief. Yeah. You're going to attract other people that have a growth mindset. When you shift into a growth mindset, you will see potential instead of problems. You're going to see progress instead of perfection. You're going to see human beings instead of signups or volume. Okay? That's what you're going to see. So that mindset allows you to lead with empathy, not judgment. To follow up with confidence instead of desperation. You ever feel desperate? Yeah. Well, not only do you feel desperate, but the person you're reaching out to can feel that desperation. You don't need to be desperate. You have a product that's changing lives. You are offering solutions. So don't feel desperate. Feel empowered to help other people. Okay. I want you to think about that. Don't feel desperate. Feel empowered to help other people. You have the ability to change lives. So that's what we're doing here. We're not saleswomen. We're not salesmen. We have the ability to change lives. We are problem solvers. We are the solution to other people's problems. So You want to support your team with belief and not frustration. And you want to attract the right people by expecting the right people. You want to expect people are going to love this product. You're going to expect that people are going to have an amazing experience because you're going to coach them along and you're going to do the follow-up to make sure that happens. So people rise to the level of the belief you have in them, and it starts with how you see them, right? Yes, it starts with how you see them. So shift your lens and you're going to shift your results, really. You're going to attract different people by simply shifting your lens, okay? So next thing is victim or victor. You get to choose. I have a whole slew of stuff I'm going to cover at the bottom of, or at the end of this, because I saw your questions today. I saw your struggles, and I'm going to speak right to those struggles here in a few minutes, but I think a lot of this covers that as well. So in this business, you're going to face challenges. You're going to have slow months. You're going to hear no. You may even want to quit sometimes, but your mindset in that moment makes all the difference in the world, right? I've always, I've had, many promoters come to me and be like, this, and they vent their frustration, which we all should be able to do. But I call it a 10-minute pity pout. You got 10 minutes. You get yourself 10 minutes to be frustrated about whatever the thing is. Now we're going to solve it. We're going to change our mindset and we're going to solve the issue. How can we fix what we're frustrated about? How can we make a difference in the situation that we're frustrated about, right? So a victim will say, it's not fair. And a victor will say, I got this, okay? And a victim will say, I'm stuck. And a victor will say, I can do better. And the reason why you're all on this right now is that you know you can do better. You know that we all have struggles with our mindset. I don't care who you are. You have a struggle at some point with your mindset. And you know what? I do too. You know, when I started, like I said, I didn't feel like I was worthy. You know, I wasn't the poster child for health and wellness. So we still have struggles every single day. I'll feel guilty if I don't do something, you know, maybe I have intentions of doing something, and if I didn't get it done, I'll feel guilty. It'll keep me up at night. I will walk to my office and wrap up what I got to do. We all are different, but we all have struggles, and we all have moments of self-doubt and moments of, am I doing enough? Am I leading my team enough? Am I leading myself enough? Am I doing all the things to grow my own personal business? This isn't just questions you ask yourself. All of us leaders ask ourselves the same thing all the time. So not all the time, but occasionally, right? So one of the things I just addressed is, you know what? A victim waits for something to change, where a victor is going to make that change happen. And that's the difference. We are problem solvers. We give solutions to problems, okay? You don't need perfect circumstances. You need the mindset of someone who refuses to freaking give up, period. End of story. So every day you get to choose, are you a victim or are you a victor? That is your choice, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit about, when I was reading through the things that many of you seem to be, maybe struggling when you're sharing the Thrive experience. I found a common theme, and that common theme was self-doubt. It was fear of judgment and fear of rejection. And I know that's what holds a lot of people back. So I'm going to talk about 7 different things in my mind that you can do to kind of overcome these things, right? So shift the focus from me to them, okay? So it's not about me, it's about them. So your self-doubt comes from worrying about how you will be perceived. So let's flip that. Focus on how you can help someone else. How can you help someone else live the life they deserve, right? So I want you to ask yourself this. What if you could be the answer to how they're feeling? What if you are the answer to them praying on their knees in their closet about how miserable they feel, how unhappy they are? What if you're the answer to those prayers? Would that make you reach out to them? I bet it would. Consider you're not bothering them. You are offering them a solution. And you're going to hear me say that over and over again. You are offering them a solution, because I'm thankful every single day. And I know every single one of you on here are thankful every single day that someone reached out to you and offered you a solution to whatever your struggle might have been, and to even struggles that you didn't even know you had. So when your mind, that fear, that fear of judgment, the fear of rejection, the fear of self-doubt, or the self-doubt you have in your head. Stop yourself, okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that as well. And I want you to detach yourself from the outcome. So your job is to share. It is not to control how people respond. And you can't. You can't control how people respond. So think of it like giving someone a gift. You can give someone the best gift in the world, but it's up to them what they do with it, right? It may be regifted next Christmas, and you might even see that. You can't control that. It could still have been the best gift you ever gave them, and you have no control of what they're going to do with it. So what they do is up to them. So release that expectation. Releasing that expectation will remove that fear. Okay, that fear of what are they going to say? What if they say no? So what? So a no. Let's talk about that. So let's reframe that rejection, right? A no is not a personal attack. It's simply feedback. It means not right now. In fact, I'm happy if someone gives me a no. You know why? Because then I'm connecting with them. Even if they're not going to purchase today, I'm connecting. I can respond. I can empathize. I can relate to whatever their objection is, So if they say no, a no is not right now. Okay. It's I don't understand everything yet. Okay. So we know on average, it takes 7 to 11 reaches for someone to make a purchasing decision. So if you are crummy at your follow-up, get better, because I'm telling you, I would not have a business if I would have stopped following up with people in the first 6 reach outs even. Yeah. I was ignored. I was told no. I remember being at a wedding, basically told that, you know what, you were in a business and it didn't work. So what makes you think this one's going to work? At the time, my paychecks were way more than anyone else in that room. I hate to say it. So I was laughing all the way to the bank, but I wasn't going to say anything like that. I wouldn't say that. But what I did is I'm like, I guess we'll see, won't we? And I verified, I left other businesses because things were getting unethical or, quality issues. Those were the reasons why I left 2 other businesses. So people did see me in network marketing. But I was ethical and I believed in both the other products that I was promoting until there was an issue. Okay. So cause I'm ethical, I'm going to be, completely authentic with people. Right. So you know what? 11 and a half years later, people, I'm still thriving. And guess what? All those people at the wedding still see me thriving because I show up every single day on social media. So, another thing is sometimes people aren't ready yet. You can reach out to someone, they're not ready yet. They're going to tell you no. But if you follow up in a couple weeks, they may have had some discomfort that was bugging them in their knee. Or maybe they started getting some head discomfort. Maybe they actually hurt their, and have an achy back. I don't know. You don't know either unless you follow up. So that is crucial. It doesn't mean that, if they said no to you before, that your story is invaluable, And I'm going to run through this. If you've listened to me before, you may have heard this gum scenario. So picture yourself at, I'll say my daughter's dance, right? I'm around all these dance moms. This was years ago because my daughter she still dances. So, and you offer gum to all the people around you, right? Some will say no and some will say yes. And some may really need gum and say no. It doesn't mean they hate you or they hate gum. It just means they don't want gum right now. But that doesn't mean the next weekend when you are at a dance event, you're not going to offer. Are you going to not offer gum to those who refused the week before? Heck no, you're going to offer it to everybody again. It's no different with this product. There's timing for everybody. And a lot of people I know that are on here probably said no to begin with, right? Or didn't say yes right out of the gate. Or maybe you were a customer and became a promoter because you love the product so much. But nobody knows that unless they follow up, right? So you have to. Let's borrow your upline's belief until you have your own. So you need to lean on your team and your leadership's success stories. So connect potential customers or promoters to your upline 12K or higher. When you have someone interested, say something like, I would love to I would love to do a chat with us and my friend Sheila. I'm just giving you an example. She's been doing this longer, and I know you're going to benefit from hearing her story. So then when you get into a chat, your upline leadership is going to basically share their story. They're going to go over how to take the Thrive experience. They're going to go over the difference between being a customer and promoter and our great quirks or perks of being a customer. And then they're going to answer any questions. I learned everything I know about this business from Maria Dillard, from connecting people to, Maria was my upline leadership, to connecting people to Maria Dillard and listening on the other line. If you don't get them on a phone call, you listen to the chats. You don't just let Maria or me or your upline leadership do all the talking and you never listen. This is how you learn. You learn from this amazing community that we have. Let your upline leadership grab onto their confidence when you don't have it. Okay. It's super crucial. And so as you listen to your confident leadership, guess what it's going to do? It's going to build your confidence. Yep. And it's going to also, it does that through the community and through repetition, because you hear it over and over again. So you got to constantly be reaching out to people or continuously doing your income producing activities, and you continuously connect them with your upline leadership. Okay, so just a reminder, you guys, if you just joined us, we are talking about how we're shifting our mindset from that self-doubt, from that the fear of rejection and the fear of people saying no, okay? So take imperfect action, okay? I'm going to say that again. Take imperfect action. The more you do, the easier it gets. The more you do, the easier it gets. Don't wait to feel ready to do this. I'm telling you, action will kill fear. When you learn to face those fears and do it anyway, do it scared, it will build your confidence. You guys, I was in college. I went to call on a phone bill. I was scared to death. My best friend called on our phone bill. Yep. I wouldn't do returns. I was 22 years old in this bubble and scared to death. And public speaking, never. I didn't public speak till I was in my late 30s. And even then, I was scared crapless. Yep. So it took having to speak over and over and over again for me to get confidence in what I have to say, and that I have value in what I have to say, and that people are listening. So we're going to take that imperfect action. You're going to practice mindset daily. This is so important. Affirmations, gratitude, and visualizing who you want to help. It will calm that inner critic, okay? It's going to calm it. So I'll give you an example. So I want you to say to yourself, I am a messenger of hope and health. It's not about perfection. It's about connection. Say that to yourself. I am a messenger of hope and health. It's not about perfection. It's about connection. If people connect to you, they will buy you before they buy what you're selling. And the great thing about this is we have a heck of an amazing product line behind us. So be authentic, be you, and be real to people. And you will overcome that self-doubt, that fear of rejection, the fear of criticism. I know that's another one. So be authentically you, okay? People crave real. You don't need to be an expert. Just be honest. Hey, this is what helped me. Maybe it can help you too. That's what Maria said to me 11 and a half years ago. Maria Dillard said, you know what? I don't know if it's going to help you, but this is what it did for me. And I feel amazing. And I have been able to run around with my twins and get more done. And they were sick. And I got more done by noon than I normally do. And she had no sleep the night before. And I thought, I could use that, right? And she goes, I'm thinking it's going to help you with your headaches. She didn't know. She said, I think it might. Give it a try, right? She didn't need me. She wasn't desperate. She knew she had her hands on something that would benefit me. And that's where the confidence comes from. So before you take action, I want you to take a deep breath whenever you're going to send out those messages and remind yourself, I'm not here for everyone. I'm here for the ones who need this like I once did. Okay, I'm going to say that again. I'm not here for everyone. I'm here for the ones who need this like I once did. Right? What if that person wouldn't have reached out to you? right? What if they would have had self-doubt? What if they would have had a fear? And they probably did, but they did it anyway. They did it scared, okay? So I'm going to give you, in closing here, I'm going to give you 3 quick confident affirmations that you can say before sharing the Thrive experience, okay? I share because I care, not because I need approval. I share because I care, not because I need approval. This reminds you of your intention. It is to help people, right? And not to seek validation. We don't need validation from everyone. And I can tell you right now, the more success you have, the more people are probably going to talk about you. And the less that, and as you're just getting started, people are so, that can be self-absorbed. They're not going to be talking about you. No, they're going to be talking about themselves. But you are reaching out with people with intention because you want to help them. Okay, next affirmation. Someone out there is praying for what I have a solution for. Someone out there is praying for what I have a solution for. This shifts your focus outward and builds your belief in your mission, right? Okay, last one. I release the outcome. My job is to share, not to convince. We don't need to convince anybody to take Thrive. What we need to do is share authentically. And that quote, that affirmation will help you to let go of the fear of rejection and stay detached from the result. The result, it really doesn't matter because you're going to continue to follow up with these people anyway. If they say no, not right now, you're going to follow up with them later because maybe a story reminds you of them, whatever it might be. I want you to look inside yourself and think about, my fear of rejection, is that a little bit of my doubt in myself? And I want you to be confident in yourself. You've shown up tonight. You showed up to build your business and to make you a better Thrive promoter. Don't forget that. So when you're watching all these lives on every single night, I want you to think about this. You need to implement 1 or 2 things from each live. If you start implementing those things that you are learning, you will have growth. If you watch these and you implement nothing, you'll be right where you were when you started this month. But I'm telling you, we have these great tools now. You're going to be able to go back, watch, relate, learn, and build your confidence. We have an incredible community. I also encourage you to grab a partner. Maybe it's an accountability partner. Have conversations. You want to know, write down what you fear someone might ask you. We don't need to know all the answers to everything. If someone asks me right now, what does such and such a product do, and how the blah, 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 maybe an ingredient or whatever, I probably wouldn't know. I mean, I might know what it does, but I might not know why it does, what ingredient is contributing to that. But I can find the answer. I can ask someone else. I can ask support. If you don't know an answer to someone's question, you simply say, you know what? I'm not sure about that. I'll get back to you. Or you say, you know what? I think it'd benefit you to hear my friend Sheila's story. She has been doing this a lot longer, and I know she'd be able to answer that question. Plus, her story is amazing, and you're going to love it. So put those fears aside and do it anyway. None of us had growth. And if you've lost rank, if you're working back up to that rank, forgive yourself that you lost rank. There are ebbs and flows in every business. People have lost rank, and that's okay. But if you don't forgive yourself for that, you're never going to have growth again. And we are meant to continue to grow. Our businesses are going to go like this, and then they're going to go like this. And how is that going to happen? Because you're not going to stop. You're going to build your confidence. You're going to keep doing things. You're going to show up as authentically you. And when you question and you think nobody wants Thrive, nobody, when you say that, I want you to change your mindset. I want you to say, I haven't spoke to anyone today that realized they were going to benefit from Thrive, and reach out to 5 more people. Because it's not that people don't want Thrive or don't need Thrive. They don't realize how it's going to benefit them yet. So you need to be that solution to their problem. Okay? You know what? I am loving these lives. I think it's super amazing that you got all this we have all this leadership on Team Thrive Nation that are willing to reach out to spend their evenings sharing with all of you. Embrace it and study it and really learn from it. And like I said, incorporate 1 to 2 things alive. I mean, if you incorporate more, great, but at least 1 to 2 things. So you guys, it has been a great night. I'm excited for all of you. This boot camp is absolutely incredible. And you have incredible leadership. Don't forget that. Like, we are rooted in this company. We are excited for what is happening and all the promos and everything that's going on. So you guys go out there. I want you to do some of your follow-up right now. And I want you to go make it a great night and go to sleep with confidence in who you are and what you have to offer thousands of people out there. All right, we'll see ya.